Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Smart Metrics Plumbing, and in today's video I want us to learn 1 to 3 things. I want us to teach each other tufunzane kitu, and I'm going to focus on those beginner plumbers who are out there in the field. I want to teach you a few things, the tools you're supposed to have, maybe a few things that you're supposed to know, and a few skills pia zenye unafaa kujua, a few things that you're supposed to have when you are out there in the field. So there's one thing that you're supposed to know, that as a beginner plumber, you're stepping into a skill trade that can build a very stable and profitable career. Since I'll focus on the foundation of every serious beginner plumber, yani the key foundation things when as a beginner plumber out there unafaa kujua. So the very first one is understanding the basic plumbing systems. So what I mean by that is you must clearly understand 3 main systems as a beginner plumber. So the very first one is water supply system. That is how you supply water when you supply maji kutoka maybe ni kwa kanjo and you supply it into a house. Ya pili in the drainage system. After supplying the water into the house imetumika, you are also supposed to know how you are going to utoe your maji. You are supposed to know how you are going to drain that water. And the other one is the vent system, which venting system mostly inakuwa kwa drainage. The breather pipes of the drainage system, you're supposed to also have the knowledge of how you are supposed to put them. So the very first one, key main thing, is understanding the basic plumbing system, and under that there is the water supply, drainage system and venting system. The second thing you're supposed to know is to know your tools. So as a beginner plumber, you're supposed to be able to confidently use a pipe wrench. I'm going to show you a pipe wrench. Yeah, let me see if I reach it. So this is the pipe wrench I'm talking about. As a beginner plumber, you're supposed to be able to know how you're supposed to use this, how to adjust it, how you open it, how you close it. So this, you're supposed to know how to use it. Adjustable spanner. So this is the adjustable spanner. You are also supposed to know where you are supposed to use this, and you also should know how to use it. This one goes hand in hand with this. This is also an adjustable spanner. You're supposed to know how you use even this tool. The other one is a plunger. This is one thing that you're supposed to have as a beginner plumber, because there are some small tasks zenye unaweza itiwa msee mahali, maybe the toilet is blocked. So this one is the one that you use to unblock the toilets and blocked sinks and small drains. You're supposed to know how to use a plunger. You should also have a hacksaw blade. I don't know if I have it. Yes, I have it here. So this is a hacksaw blade. I don't have the handle, but you also unafaa ukuwe na hii yote ikiwa complete, the handle and the blade. You're supposed to have it. You should never ever lack a tape measure. You're supposed to have it all the time. When unaenda kila mahali kwenye unaenda lazima ukuwe na tape measure. A spirit level. This is what a spirit level is. The main the basic purpose of this thing is to make sure when you are installing something, for instance a toilet, a sink, it's level, it's straight. You don't want to install vitu alafu pate zimeinama zingine hivi. So this one will help you get the accurate level. Then a pipe cutter. As a plumber, you're supposed to have a pipe cutter. This one is for cutting pipes. Thread tape here. So these are generally the basic small things that you're supposed to have as a beginner plumber out there, na zitakusaidia in your field. So the other thing you're supposed to know as a plumber is pipes and materials. You're supposed to know the materials type and the pipes that you are using. For instance, there are PVC, PPR, copper, GI, HDPE, but I'm going to show you a few that I have. So this one is the PVC pipe. it's PVC, polyvinyl chloride. It's usually inatumika sana sana kwa drainage systems. When you are putting the drainage system, this is why you use this one. This is the CPVC. It is used for water supply. It's a good quality pipe yenye inatumika kwa water supply, and this one is not welded unlike the PPR. Hii unatumianga glue. It has a special glue that is used to join everything together. And here we have the PPR. PPR is the most common pipe used widely here in Kenya. Ndio inatumika sana because when you are doing the piping, you use the PPR. When you are doing irrigation, you use the PPR. When you are PPR is the most common used pipe in Kenya. So we also have HDPE pipe. HDPE pipe is usually in black, and mostly inatumikanga kwa irrigation, big irrigation schemes, or supplying water from one province to another. The HDPE, it's a very big. We also have the GI. GI is the metallic one. But as we are going from kitambo, GI inakuja ikiwa imetolewa because it is not haikaangi sana, because at the end of the day it's going to rust and inasumbua. So sahi the most commonly used is the PPR. PPR inatumika sana. This one CPVC inatumika sana, but it's a bit expensive. PVC is definitely lazima utumie when you are doing your plumbing work. You will need PVC. So at least as a plumber, you should know or be able to differentiate the pipes and where to use them. The other thing you're supposed to know as a plumber who is beginning your plumbing career in the field, you should also know how to read basic plumbing drawings. For instance, ukipewa drawing na a client, if a client is building and you are given a drawing or the plan for the house, you're supposed to look at it and know how to read the basic plumbing plans, identify the symbols, ujue where the toilet is, how you are going to go about it. When you look at the drawing, where the toilet is, where the sink is, where the shower will be, where the cubicle will be. You're supposed to be able to identify that. You're supposed also to know how to measure the pipe runs. Okay? Hiyo ninamaanisha, for instance, kama kunafanywa casting and the chuma zishafungwa, we are supposed to be able to know how to measure the pipe runs. Ujue pipe inafaa ipite hapa, hapa ifai kupita, hapa inafaa ipite, hapo unaweza pitisha. So you are supposed to know that. Another thing, you are supposed to know how to whenever you are doing, for instance, unafanya pointing and it's drainage work, you're supposed to understand the slopes that you're supposed to put, so that when the waste maji ikienda, it's not getting stranded there because you did not put a good slope. So lazima ukuwe na you must be able to understand the slopes for the drainage, which is very important, because I usually say good plumbers don't guess, they measure, and it will help you sana. So hiyo kitu ingine yenye unafaa kujua as a beginner plumber is safety first. Safety first, hiyo inamaanisha always remember, turn off water supply before repairs. Anytime umeenda kwa client and there's a problem in the house, uendangu huku umeanza kazi, so you first turn off water supply before any repairs, because unawezaenda, you might go and uanze kufanya kazi yako, kumbe the water, where the water is coming from is not closed, and you do a mess. Maybe when you are undoing the tap, it breaks, and you'll end up flooding the client's house. So turn off water supply. Be careful with the hot and cold water, mostly the hot water lines. The other thing is you follow the plumbing codes of the area you are. Unaenda place zingine upate they don't do their things the way you usually do in other places, so it's good to follow the plumbing codes of where you are going. Alright, so the other key thing is there are a few common beginner skills to master. So as a plumber, when you are new in the field, kuna a few to beginner skills zenye unafaa kuwa unajua. Number one, you're supposed to be able to fix leaking taps. Hiyo ni kitu yenye is straightforward. As a plumber, you should know how to fix leaking taps. Installing sinks and toilets, you're supposed how to install them. Repairing blocked toilets and unblocking the sinks, you are supposed to know, and this is the tool for that. If it's not blocked in the drain, it's just blocked where the toilet is or at the sink. So you should know how to unblock the drains, and you should know how to join pipes properly. If you are doing PPR pipe welding, because you usually use a machine, it's called the PPR welding machine, you should know how to join it perfectly and without any leaking joints. For instance, this is the PPR. When you weld them together, after you test, you are not supposed to have leakages, because as a beginner plumber, you're supposed to know how to weld the pipes very, very correctly. This is the CPVC. This one, it has a special glue. When you're dealing with this, you should know how to apply the glue nicely. And when you put the socket and you connect another pipe, when you go to test, you're supposed to have 0 leakages. So you're supposed to know how to joining the pipes properly. The other thing as a beginner plumber and unafaa to master and you're supposed to know is that customer service matters. So, and since as a plumber you are self-employed, it's always good to be punctual. So ukiambia client I'll be there at maybe I'll be there tomorrow morning at 8, make sure you are punctual, because you don't know, maybe the client is waiting for you, or it was a serious issue that needed urgency. So when you tell a client I'll be there at 8, make sure it's 8. So it's good to be punctual. The other thing is to be honest about costs. Many ladies fall victims to this because they don't know about plumbing stuff. So you can go and you sell, for instance, you're selling something like a pipe. This pipe goes for around 500 to 600. But because umefika hapo, you've seen this lady doesn't understand, you tell them this like 2,000. And because she doesn't know, she'll fall into the trap. So it's always good to be honest about costs. The other thing, it's to clean your work area. After you have finished doing your work, umemaliza kazi yako, it's always good to clean your work area, because I've ever seen someone who was working somewhere and after umemaliza kazi, they did not clean. They said the house girl will clean. So as a plumber, you're supposed to clean your work area after you have finished your work. The other thing is to communicate clearly to the client. In this I mean, when you're talking to the client, it's always good to be clear on what you are saying, on what you are doing, and what you are going to do. Okay? So the other key main thing you're supposed to know is to have some basic business knowledge if you want to work independently. Yani there is the basic knowledge you're supposed to have as a plumber, and it's very important. So the first one is you should learn how to quote jobs. It's very important to learn how to quote jobs. You can be called somewhere by a client and he's building a 2 or 3 bedroom, and he tells you, I want you to quote the whole pipe work, drainage, everything together plus labor cost. So you're supposed to know how to quote your work. You should also know the material pricing. Lazima ujue materials that everything. If it's a pipe, you should know the cost, the size. This is 3/4, there is 1 inch, there is 1.5. So unafaa ujue the pricing and the fittings, the elbows, sockets, male adapters, all those things you're supposed to know their prices. Keep simple records. This is to help you track your work and understand profit versus revenue. So ukienda pale kwa kazi, uelewe pesa yenye unatengeneza na yenye unatumia. Okay? So hiyo kitu kingine ni you just keep learning. Plumbing is evolving. Plumbing is diverse. It's very wide, because me as a plumber, I've been in the field for almost 10 years now, and I still learn every day, because plumbing is it's so diverse. Like every day when I get out there in the field, I always find something new that I didn't know, and I teach myself how to do it. So guys, that was all for today. I've tried to focus on the core foundations of that one plumber who is out there, who is trying to build his career. I'm going to go through the key main points again. So the first one is to understand basic plumbing system, that is water supply, drainage supply and drainage system. The second one is know your tools. The third one is know the pipe types and materials. The other one is reading the plumbing drawings. Ingine ni safety first. And I've also talked about the common beginner skills to master as a plumber. That is fixing leaking taps, installing sinks and toilets, replacing washers and blocking drains, and installing heaters for customers. So guys, I hope Mesaidika helped one or two people out there who are in the field. And also know that I also do training for plumbers who are out there at a small fee. So if you're interested, I'm going to put my number down there. You can reach me through it, either WhatsApp or just call me, and I'll be there to see how we can work together. So kindly guys, thank you guys for watching the video, and if you have not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next one.